Papertrail is a delightful and creative take on the puzzle genre, introducing a unique perspective on the paper folding puzzle solving that sometimes feels more challenging than it actually is, but allows players to solve puzzles at their own pace. Hey there, my name is CGDannyB and you're listening to my review of Papertrail on the PlayStation 5. Real quick, huge shout out to the team over at NEWFANGLED Games for providing me an early copy of the game so that I could review it for you today. And before we get started, do not forget to like the video or else you're gonna get a random amount of paper cuts on your dominant hand. And for about 10% of you, it's gonna be between your fingers. It's pretty dangerous stuff, so you better hit the like button. Now, let's talk about Papertrail. Set in a stunning top-down paper world, you'll set out as a young student named Paige, a budding academic who's leaving her town for the very first time to pursue her studies, aiming to discover new and exciting things that she'll never find the opportunity to see inside the confines of her small hometown. While exploring the various lands to brush up on her astrophysics knowledge, you meet a collection of characters along the way. From joyful families preparing for their annual festival, to the obnoxious kid who might be stealing an old lady's underwear. Papertrail tends to focus more on the puzzles and experiencing the moment-to-moment gameplay rather than telling a deep narrative, but there are plenty of wholesome and charming moments throughout the adventure to add a bit more story for those who wish to take the time to read them. The basis of Papertrail's gameplay is taking the world that's been cut into paper segments and folding them to reach your final destination. Each world will introduce new mechanics like spinning and sliding platforms, teleporting doors, and other fun gimmicks. But the majority of the time, your focus will be on finding the useful parts on the reverse side of the page and creasing the paper to create new paths for you to move forward. Sometimes it'll be as easy as a vertical or horizontal fold, or for my fellow kindergarten brains out there, hot dog or hamburger folds. But you can't fold a page over itself multiple times. So you may have to fold in one direction, move your character, then unfold to later fold the page again at another angle. You also have to find out which objects can be folded as well. Some characters and terrain will fold alongside the page, while other tools and objectives will prevent the page from moving as far as it possibly could. In the earlier levels, the puzzles are fairly simple to solve, but they definitely get far more intricate the further into the game you get. Luckily, Papertrail included a hint system into the game, which gives you the advice that you need to progress without blatantly giving you the answers. The hint will show you a small sample of the map that you're on and tell you what folds you need to make in what order. However, it doesn't tell you what objects to move, levers to activate, or anything in that realm. So even if you've got a step-by-step guide on the folds, you still have some of your own brainstorming you gotta do. And along the way, you'll see these little origami boats lying around. These are your optional collectibles, and these are entirely up to you to figure out how to reach them. Playing through the game, I think I managed to get about 7 or so origami pages on my own, leaving a lot more for me to go back and collect. So I played Papertrail on the PlayStation 5, and something I can't get over is how cool it was to discover that the team put time into incorporating adaptive trigger functionality. So if you didn't know, the PS5 controllers have special triggers that can create tension for certain games. So like in a first-person shooter, they'll tighten up when you go to shoot, making you have to put more effort into pulling the trigger. So what Papertrail does is if you try to fold the page while your character's in a position that won't allow it, the triggers are immediately set to maximum tension. So that little micro action of you pulling your trigger is immediately halted by the controller equivalent of a brick wall. It's a fairly small thing that can easily be turned off if you genuinely don't like it, but for me it gave that extra tactile feel of playing the game. While working on my script for Papertrail, this is one of those reviews that just felt really short for me. Obviously, avoiding spoilers and not having an insane amount of narrative to discuss makes it all dependent on talking about the gameplay, which I think is pretty damn solid. I don't know that Papertrail will take away any Game of the Year awards or skyrocket to the top of anybody's top 10 games of 2024 list, but I found it cozy, semi-challenging, and very gorgeous to look at. Papertrail is an enjoyable puzzle game that'll suit a variety of gamers, and should be kept on your radar, whether you're dying to jump into a new puzzle game right now, or looking for something to add to your library down the road. If you're interested in checking out Papertrail, you can pick it up on Steam, Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, and mobile devices starting today, May 21st. So be sure to let me know in the comments if you're going to be picking up the game for yourself. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the review and want to stick around for some more amazing indie content, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.